Hi there, these comments are for Neha, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass a Toefl IBT. So I'm looking at your email right now. So here's what you say. Let's look at your specific situation, and I'm going to recommend a specific study plan that I think will help you reach your goals. So, you want to improve your Toefl score, and right now you took the IBT test and you got 84. So on the reading section you scored 16. On the listening section you scored 24. On the speaking section you scored 23. And on the writing section you scored 21. You say, I somehow found it very difficult to improve my reading score. At the same time, I want to improve my writing and my speaking scores. The institute I'm applying for needs 88 on the Toefl IBT exam, and they asked me to retake the Toefl test. So I need to provide them my improved score before October 1st. You say, therefore, I am planning to retake the test on 17 September. Can I improve my reading score within such a short duration? So I'm going to change this here. So can I improve my reading score within such, you might want to put here, a short duration. I need some guidance to improve my reading as well as my speaking scores. Okay, so I'm going to just be really honest with this. Probably not. Reading is very stubborn. It will probably take you more than just 30 days because, let's face it, your reading here is about 16 points out of 30. You got a lot of issues that you need to solve there, so it may not be possible to work out all those issues before September 17th. That's my own advice based on the experience of teaching Toefl preparation for 22 years and based on students who take Toefl exams on a monthly basis. I have a pretty good idea of what people can do. Now, I think you can make some pretty good improvements in the writing. I see that you can probably bring that up pretty quickly from 21 points. Maybe you can get 3 or 4 points there. Speaking is very tough. You're already pretty good. You're 23 in the speaking. You want to go even higher. That will be more difficult. So I think that the writing, you can increase your score pretty quickly there. In my online Toefl course, I have over 50 independent writing practice tests. I have 43 integrated writing practice tests. So what you want to do is to start taking those practice tests, start getting some feedback. So your goal is to try to take maybe 15 or 20 of these practice tests before you take the Toefl, and that should help move you higher in that area. Alright, so let's talk about reading for just a second. So why is reading so difficult? Why is this a stubborn area to make improvements in? You already know you're having some trouble in that area, right? Now, I'm going to give you 5 different pieces of advice here. I've told this probably to more than 1,000 students, these 5 things. If you can do these 5 things, you're more than likely to get about 6 or 7 points higher in the reading. However, it'll probably take you about 2 to 2.5 months to get these results, to get those 6 or 7 points, right? So what do you do? What do you need to do right now? First thing you want to do before you do anything, sit down and read every day for about 45 minutes. If you just did that one thing, you would be amazed at how quickly you can improve your reading. Remember that you need to get used to reading and thinking in the new language, so it's not going to be easy, but that's really the first thing you want to do. Now, as you're doing the reading practice, there's really 2 things that you want to do here, maybe even 3. So first of all, I recommend as you're reading, you can read magazines, newspapers, and books, and by all means, don't read boring Toefl reading materials. Believe it or not, It's going to be really, really boring to you, disinteresting. You won't get a lot of benefit from it. Just read things you have an interest in. Again, newspapers, magazines, and books. So as you're doing the reading practice, Neha, focus on getting down in note form. Yes, I'm talking about note-taking. Write down the main and the most important supporting points of the reading passages. Now, once you have the notes, then you want to do two things. Number one, you can practice summarizing the information by speaking about it, and you can even record yourself so you can listen to it later on. So you should practice using your notes to summarize the information, to orally summarize it. So in addition to speaking about the reading text, you can also practice writing about them. That way, you're getting a lot of benefit from this reading practice. You're not only doing reading practice, but you're also speaking and writing about this information. When you write about it, I recommend you write maybe 100 to 200 word reading passages about the information. All right, let's talk about the second thing you have to do with your reading practice. Second thing, as boring as it is, vocabulary study. You really need to do it. And learning vocabulary takes time. That's why it's not something you can just do in 30 days. Usually it takes students maybe a couple of months or so before they really significantly improve their vocabulary proficiency. So for you, once you join my online Toefl course, I recommend you go to vocabulary lesson number 3, complete that lesson, then go to vocabulary lesson number 4, and then number 5 and number 6. Your goal, as you go through those 4 specific lessons, is to improve your vocabulary to about 1,700 college level words. I'm telling you, as you improve your vocabulary to almost 2,000 words, a lot of good things are going to happen with your English and, of course, with your Toefl score. All right, the third thing. A lot of people overlook this one, but it's very, very important. You need to improve your reading speed to a minimum of 300 words per minute or more. You need to do that. It's very important. Now, the fourth thing is you need to become familiar with the Toefl IBT question types and the strategies for answering those questions. For example, the Toefl has main idea, it has support ideas, it has rhetorical questions, there's implied detail questions, there's organizational type questions, there's completing charts, and schematic table type of questions. So your job is to kind of figure out what all those question types are and the strategies for answering those questions. Of course, in my online Toefl course, when you go to the reading section of my course, you will see some lessons helping you do just that. And by the way, in the reading part of my course, you will be able to improve your reading speed from 100 to 350 words per minute. And believe it or not, you will have better concentration and ultimately better comprehension as you improve your reading speed. It sounds crazy, but I'm going to tell you something. Slower readers have poor reading speed. Why? Because they have more distractions in their brain. Your goal is to improve your reading speed so the words are coming at your mind faster, you're making connections faster, you have a lot fewer distractions during that whole process. So that's why you really want to improve that reading speed. Okay, finally, the last thing you want to do is to complete Toefl level reading practice test. So if you can do these 5 things, and really the first 3 are the most important, right? Once you've done the first 3 things for a month or so, then you get into strategy or step number 4 and 5, and you should do very well in that area. All right, so there you go. So those are my suggestions for your reading. Again, my answer to you is it may not be possible for you to significantly improve your reading in just 30 days. Reading typically doesn't operate like that. It's very stubborn. You have to spend a lot of time to get even small results. So the harder you work, And the longer you spend following these 5 tips I just gave in this video, the more improvement you will get with your reading comprehension. My goal, if you follow these 5 things, probably for a couple of months, maybe 2 or 3 months, you're looking at about 6 to 7 points of improvement with your reading score. Alright, so if you combine that with completing speaking and writing practice tests in my online Toefl course, you should be able to reach your goal. Alright, so my best guess right now, you're probably looking anywhere from 1 to 3 months, I think, for you to go from 84 to 88, and of course making those significant improvements in your reading score. Anyway, thank you for your questions and for your email, and all the best to your high-scoring Toefl success.